Hey, how's it going, guys? It's JBOB here, back again with another video, and today I have a super sweet tutorial for you guys today, and it is a super smelter, which would be a great addition on any survival world, and it's probably the best super smelter in my opinion, because it's not too resource heavy. It only really requires, the main thing you're going to be needing is iron, and it only requires just under 3 stacks. And if you're going to be building this in survival, I think you would be at the point where you'd have 3 stacks where you're going to be building this thing, as well as it's not too complicated to build. It's actually pretty simple once you get the hang of how it all works and whatnot. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing you guys want to do to go ahead and get started with this build is place down 3 chests, one for your items you want to smelt, one for your fuel input, and one for the items coming out of the smelter. Then simply just take some hoppers and go out 16 blocks from that in chest there. Now that you have your 16 hoppers lined up, go ahead and just place in some furnaces on top of those. The next step is to go ahead and add hoppers along the back as well as the top all the way down your line, again by crouching or hitting shift to do that. Now if you guys would just come out behind your 3 chests here, 3 blocks behind to be exact, and then just dig a 2 deep hole here, and then make sure to get under the chest as well, and just bring this down 2 blocks like so, and then take these 2 blocks out here. Now over here on the other end of the smelter, you want to come here to this hopper here on the end, the bottom hopper, and come out 2 blocks from that, and then over 1 block as well. And then off the back of this furnace, come out 3 blocks, and then bring that over 3 blocks, and then just go ahead and add an extra little block down here. Now it is time to go ahead and place in our rails. Rails in Minecraft can be a little bit tricky depending on which direction you're building on, either north to south or east to west. So it's kind of tricky and you might have to fool around with it just a little bit to get it right. But I'll give you some tips and tricks along the way here to kind of show you guys the easiest way to do this. So first go ahead and place down a rail like that and then a powered rail. And then you're going to want to go ahead and remove these 2 blocks here, and then place another rail up top like so. Now one thing I like to do just at this point is to go ahead and place down 2 torches underneath these blocks here that will provide power to these 2 rails that will be here. So that way when we come back, and then we're going to start working on the redstone in here, and we don't have to dig under all of that to put our torches in. But now let's go ahead and see if we can get the second one in. So if I go ahead and place that there, and that like that, that should be good. We can remove these 2 blocks, and those should be all set in stone. We're going to go ahead and put a regular rail here so that we can make this turn leading up this way. And then this one, we're going to extend out 1 more regular rail, and then more powered rails leading up like so. And another thing, as you saw just there, if you do make the rails the same length, they will start to connect depending again on which direction you are. So you always want to have one rail that is slightly longer than the other. It's just 1 block will make all of the difference. But that's kind of how I make my rails from stop connecting if you have 2 rails next to each other. Now let's just go ahead and add in some more torches down here. I'm just going to go ahead and sneakily place those in there like that. Now all of our rails are powered. Go ahead and patch that back up. Now let's go ahead and bring this one out first, since it's our leading rail at the moment. So just bring that all the way out, up, and then make this turn up here. We'll worry about powering them in just a second. And then once we get up here, again, just crouch. Just crouch to make it all the way down this line here. Another important element to these rails here is you actually want to add a block on the end and then a block coming up like that. You don't actually need that one, but then you want to add a rail to that. The reason for this is because when our minecart is coming over all of these hoppers with the items in it, it's actually going to put 2 items in each of these hoppers each time it comes around. So once when it comes down and once when it goes back. We have this here so that way this last furnace here actually gets the 2 items instead of when it hits this block, if it was a hopper, it would only get 1. So this will just make sure that all of our furnaces get the same amount of items in it each time it comes around. Now let's go ahead and extend this one down here. Just bring it down, up, and around. And we might have to do a little bit of tomfoolery here. It looks like we got it. And yeah, just keep bringing your rails all the way down. And then we're going to have to do a little bit of funny business once we get to the end down here. So we'll go ahead and add our block like that. and extend that up. But we're actually going to need to extend this one out by one just for the time being to get this one like that. And then once we get rid of this one, we can go ahead and place that block back and get rid of that. So that will all be fine and dandy there. Now if you guys just want to go ahead and add a block right here and add a torch that will power most of our rails down of our 16 track here, and then off the back of this right here, you can actually just click right on top of that and lead that up like that. Then this will be where you're going to go ahead and place your other torch, and that should get all of these looking good. For these rails here, you just want to go ahead and add a torch underneath there, and that should power those. And then for these, I would just come to probably right about halfway in between where the power's at. Come down here, place your two torches, and fill that back in. So yeah, now all of our rails are powered. So now we just have to work on the redstone and add in our minecart. So all of our redstone will actually be taking place right down here. So what I just went ahead and did is I dug out 3 in these 2 blocks area right here, back on either side. And then right here next to these detector rails, we're going to go ahead and place a comparator either side like so, with a repeater coming out of that, and then a block with a redstone torch. Now to kind of explain this, these comparators will detect when there are items inside of the hopper minecart. So when you place items in here, the hopper minecart will suck them up. This will detect that there is an item, and then we're actually going to put a little bit of a delay on these repeaters. Now this will kind of stop the minecart from leaving right away, so we can pick up quite a few items before heading down and filling up our furnaces. So let's go ahead and do that on the other side here. And now we just add a block on the end of that, and then a piston facing inward. A piston. What am I saying? And this will actually stop our minecarts from going anywhere because it will actually get locked in place right on that rail until these pistons open. So let's go ahead and put a hopper minecart on each of these rails. And as you can see, it should get stuck right like that. So now, I guess let's just go ahead and test out this bad boy. Alright, so I just went ahead and grabbed a little bit of coal as well as some gold ore to kind of test out this super smelter here. And so let me just kind of reiterate, this outer chest here is going to be the items that we're smelting, because this will go up and around to the top. This middle chest will be our fuel because it goes down into the back of the furnaces, and then this chest here will be our output, which comes out the bottom. So let's go first and go ahead and put in our fuel. Just go ahead and pop that in there, and then as we can see, our hopper minecart comes down and around up to the top and then bounces back all the way down. And that actually should probably go through a few times because there's quite a bit of coal in there as this chest is slowly emptying. Actually, it's got it all now, and it will come back down and around. Now that it has put all of the items in there, let's just go ahead and check. So there's 4 in each of these. Looks like it's coming around one more time just for the funsies, I guess. But as you can see across the board here, we have 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, it's all equal across the board, so you're not going to get any unevenness in how your items are smelting. Now let's go ahead and add in our item which we're going to smelt, which is going to be some gold ore. Now as you can see here, this is actually really cool when all the furnaces light up. Oh my gosh. Whew. It's exciting, man. It looks so cool too, especially when you have this all built up and it's just like a nice furnace room. Ooh. Alright, but let's check. Let's see how we're doing. Already 7 smelted. So this obviously goes 16 times faster than what a regular furnace would do. And it should start filling up here pretty quickly as well. It seems like I'm having some lag or something. But there's items definitely coming through here. It seems it's getting caught up here, which is some lag I'm experiencing here. Just because my computer isn't the best. But yeah, this should be working quite fine now. Already up to 47 now. Yeah, so if I just keep opening and closing this chest, it will kind of speed that up for me. I guess there's just some lag input with all these hoppers on my computer because it's a piece of trash, I guess. But yeah, 64, it's all done, and these will actually just smelt for just a little bit longer until the coal is finished smelting. But the cool thing about this is you can actually keep 64 in here, as well as 5 stacks in each of these, so you can fill this thing up a whole bunch and kind of forget about it for a while until you realize I don't have any more fuel in my furnaces. So that's just something that's kind of handy, but something you should probably look out for. Now, that's basically the whole tutorial done. If you guys want to click off and build this on your worlds, you can. But I'm just going to quickly show you guys how a few ideas on how you could decorate this thing to make it look a little bit nicer. Now, the first thing I like to do here is actually just go ahead and put some blocks in the back here to kind of signify what each of these chests do, so I never get them confused. So we're going to have to play around with these rails just a little bit because we are going to need to remove that block. So just go ahead and extend this out one more here, and then we can go ahead and put in our gold block right here, which would signify our output. And then we can get rid of that and place that back like so. So that will be our output. This is our fuel input, and then this is our item input, which whatever we're smelting. Another thing I really like to do is go ahead and add a block or steps of some kind in front of all of these hoppers down here. It kind of closes it off and gives it a nice finished look, and you can even go ahead and add upside down stairs on top of it, and it kind of closes your eye sign into the furnaces, kind of makes it a focus point, I guess. I'm trying to talk a little bit higher vocabulary with my building terms here, but I don't know if it's working out too well. But yeah, just go ahead and do that, and it kind of makes it a nice look. And I actually really like the bricks here. It kind of makes it look like more of a furnace or chimney type dealio. And I actually just used stone bricks when I built this on my survival world, but I definitely think the good old-fashioned red bricks looks really good. Now, I like the red bricks as well as the andesite combo, so that might be something you want to put on the ends or kind of fill in all of these things with over here. So say if you wanted to kind of fill this in over here, we can actually probably just make this come all the way over like so, and then bring this up like that. And you can probably go through and replace that, but I just don't want to mess with the rails again. Yeah, and then just kind of filling this all up back through here. You really can't mess with the redstone too much unless you break any of the stuff down there. So yeah, you can just go ahead and do something like that. And yeah, you really can't do too much with these blocks here under the chest. You can put a block there and a block there, but you do need these blocks here to be open so that your minecarts can sit there. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look here from the front. So yeah, that's obviously looking a lot better than it was. Besides, I mean, like, that looks a little odd, but yeah, you guys can play around with the design. I hope this just kind of gave you a little concept of something you can do. But guys, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the tutorial today. If you guys did enjoy, let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you guys do end up building this on your world, send me a pic on Twitter. The link is down in the description. All right, guys, that's it for today. This has been your boy JBOB, and I'm out. See you guys.